this election season was already bitter, and it has just got, if that's possible, even more so. Something that already a highly politicised partisan election battle, and now this has blown that up as well. Instead, there's supposed to be there is a separation of powers here in the US, the judiciary, the executive and the legislature. But now this position on the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court, the judiciary, has become something of a political football. The Republicans, desperate to fill the space with a conservative judge of their choosing, which would affect not just the next couple of years, but at least probably a generation, because these are lifetime appointments. So whoever gets this seat on the court will stay there for the rest of her life. President Trump has said that he will be choosing a woman for this position. So you could argue that perhaps this will have a longer term impact on the United States than even maybe the choice of the next president, because presidential terms are, of course, just 4 years long. The Democrats say that this is totally unfair. You should not be hurrying in the president's choice of Supreme Court justice just days before an election. I think it's 40-something days now until election day. They say you should wait until the American public the American electorate have decided who they want to be their next president, and then once that president is installed, they can then choose the nominee that they would like to go before the Senate for approval. But the Republicans, as you just said, are not going to be waiting. They intend to try to get this new Supreme Court justice approved before November the 3rd, which is voting day here.
Is there anything that the Democrats can do at this stage? If the Republicans have the numbers in the Senate, it looks like Mitt Romney, they were hoping that he might lead a bit of a revolt in the Senate, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
That's right. Mitt Romney was kind of their last hope, because, I mean, he did, in fact, vote to impeach President Trump, the lone Republican senator to do so. And they did think that perhaps he would also do this to, he's been a long-term rival of the president, but no, he has said he will go with the rest of his party. He is a conservative Republican, and no doubt he does want to see the Supreme Court weighted more towards the conservative side of ideological thinking. The Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, who is the leader of the Democrats in Congress, she is the Speaker of the House, has said that they still have certain things that they will do to try to prevent this from happening. Certain members of the left wing here have suggested that perhaps they could launch another impeachment proceedings, because that would have to take precedent in the Senate over any other business, including those confirmation hearings for a Supreme Court justice. That would show just how kind of really down and dirty this political game has got if they chose to do something like that. Another thought that Democrats are saying is that if the President Trump's nominee is confirmed before Election Day and then Joe Biden wins the presidency, then Joe Biden should increase the number of Supreme Court justices that sit. There is no limit to how many there are. There are 9 at the moment, but he could appoint new Supreme Court justices to try to rebalance that conservative liberal difference there is in the court. So the Democrats, although they can't do anything as it stands in terms of persuading Republican senators not to vote this confirmation hearing, they do say they have got other ideas about how they could either slow the process or change things, assuming assuming Joe Biden is elected president.
Is there a precedent for this kind of situation? You know, I've been seeing reports that this has happened before, and at that time it was the Republicans telling the Democrats you can't do it just before an election, and yet they seem to be singing a different tune this time around.
Yes, the word hypocrisy has been used a lot in the reporting of this. You're right. During President Obama's tenure in the White House, 8 months before the election, not just a matter of, a month or so, his pick for the Supreme Court, someone called Merrick Garland, the Republicans refused to hear that Senate confirmation, saying that it wasn't an election year and that it was not correct to do so. Yet here we are, and it's now their turn, and they're saying, oh, it's fine, we can do this. Their argument for this, the reasoning that they are giving, and obviously reporters are asking them this question, putting it to them, and of course reporters have tape of Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Republicans in the Senate, saying that this should not happen, and now here he is doing the exact opposite. His reasoning is that during the Obama tenure, the president was a Democrat, President Obama, and the Senate was Republican-led, and that therefore because they both they were different parties in each area of power, that therefore it was okay. Whereas this time it's a Republican president and a Republican Senate, so they have the justification to do so. There's nothing in the Constitution that talks about this. It is a reasoning that the Republicans are using to try to excuse how they have a different attitude this time around.
All right, and perhaps briefly, is there any way to gauge what the public think about this, or are they all just kind of looking to the elections and whoever's red is red, whoever is blue is blue?
I think it's very similar on all these hot topics here in the US at the moment. The people who vote for Donald Trump, who are supporters of Donald Trump, that doesn't even register with them this kind of debate. They will support him whatever. Those people who want to see Donald Trump unseated from the presidency, Democrats, of course, as well as some more middle-of-the-road Republicans, are really concerned about this idea of the Republican Party in the Senate pushing this confirmation through. And it's even more angered those Democrats who believe that President Trump is abusing his power. They say this is yet another example of it. So it's kind of firing up both sides, which is why this already very, very divided election campaign has become even more so. It's just added more ammunition, more fire to everybody's very passionate beliefs over this.